Let's join our hands together in Kansho. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. From the words of the Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, aloha. Welcome and thank you again for coming to this morning Sunday service. In 6 more days, we come to the first of the two big year-end holidays, and that is Christmas, followed by the conclusion of the year 2021 and the beginning of 2022. That is, of course, our observance of the new year. It's that time of the year again when we can gather together as a family or group, reflect upon the events that happened during this soon-to-be past year, and give thanks and make plans for the coming new year. As I have mentioned before in previous Dharma messages over the years, we Buddhists should not give any attachment to nor reject the joyous occasion that our brothers in the Christian religion observe, and that is, of course, Christmas Day. We participate in rather than celebrate the occasion because even if we exclude the religious significance of the Christmas holiday, we find that it is a time when people share thoughts of goodwill and resources to promote a peaceful and happy mood, even if only for a few days for some. It is a Christian holiday, all right, but the spirit is very much also Buddhist, for this is the time of the year when loving kindness and compassion is practiced by many people regardless of their religious belief. Of course, one of the things that make the season joyous and fun-filled is the tendency for people to give and receive gifts among families and close friends. Somehow, the holiday season is not complete without the exchanging of gifts or presents. And although it promotes generosity, the often heavy emphasis on gift giving leads to some complaints about Christmas becoming over-commercialized to the point that the real meaning and spirit of this holiday is drowned by the monetary value attached to the gifts being given, and not to the thought that makes a person give a present to another. Some expect presents as a given because it is the holiday season and get disappointed when they do not receive anything. What's even worse is how some people freely give out presents with the expectation of getting something in return. We all know as Buddhists that this expectation of something in return is not true dana or selfless giving. There are those too who, even though they have received something, still aren't happy because the present that they have just received is not the thing they wanted or were eagerly expecting. This is especially true with young children. Where's my present? Where's the present I wanted to receive? This isn't what I wanted, they might say. Nothing ever pleases them, whether they have or have not received anything. The frustration is especially great when the gift is wrapped in attractive paper with fancy ribbons, only to find out that the actual present is something cheap or unwanted. In other words, the beauty of the wrapper can fool us and sometimes does not mean that what's inside or wrapped up is something nice and wholesome, or vice versa. But it is human nature to come to hasty judgments based on false perception or thoughts. This is all part of our foolish, unenlightened nature, our bonno or blind passions, which prevents us from seeing things as they really are. We think of gifts or presents only in terms of something we give or receive during special holidays or happy events or occasion in our lives. That outside of those special days and events, we do not even stop and think that what we are actually receiving gifts or presents each and every day of our lives. These are things that make life possible to continue. And without these everyday gifts, we cannot continue on living just as we are living now. We rarely appreciate that which is already obvious. For example, the air we breathe, the food we eat, which come from numerous beings, and even simple acts of kindness from others that lighten our load and brighten our days. Instead, our own blind passions wrap these daily gifts we receive that we fail to see through and appreciate their presence. We take ordinary things for granted, but if we just stop and reflect, even for a few seconds, we come to the realization that we are fortunate, for example, to be living in this country where we enjoy freedom, unlike in some other countries around the world where people have to follow rigid, outdated cultural practices for the sake of conformity, acceptance, and avoidance of social rejection, or in totalitarian states or societies where even the most basic freedoms and human rights do not exist. Standard of living, medical care, security are of much higher value or level here in this country than in some other parts of the world, where hunger, oppression, and poverty are the norms. Yet we mostly take these things for granted. Blind passions also keep us from appreciating what we already have and make us crave for more, which only results in our own dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Blind passions make us regret the past and worry about the future, not understanding that it is the present moment, living and appreciating the here and now, that is more important in Buddhism, and that the present moment is all we really have. The past can no longer be brought back, and the future is not ours to control because it is yet to happen. Dwelling in the past means having regrets. We can learn from the past, but regrets are totally useless. Worrying about the future is also not wholesome, for it causes anxiety and fear of the unknown. We forget that we are not eternal and neglect to live our lives in the here and now. Yesterday is the past, tomorrow is the future, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Let's live our lives in deep appreciation through deep reflection and see reality and the many gifts and blessings we receive every day without the false, deceitful wrappings our blind passions create that keeps us from living in gratitude, the present, and find contentment and happiness with what we have already have at the moment. With the light of Amida Buddha's wisdom, The bodhisattva mind of compassion for others is awakened in each and every one of us. Then the focus of our minds shifts from one of self-centeredness to generosity and service to others. We can then give without any conditions or expectations, receive with happiness and gratitude without frustrations or discontent, and therefore participate in the true spirit of this holiday season, giving loving kindness and compassion to all beings. So, as a final thought, what can we do as Buddhists during this predominantly Christian holiday? Here are some things that we can do as Buddhists during Christmas. One, give a thoughtful gift. While Buddhists strive for non attachment to material things, we can also believe in practicing kindness. A truly thoughtful gift, which shows you have paid attention to someone's needs and feelings, is much more important than a meaningless stocking stuffer. Do you have a deeply religious Christian friend? A gift that shows you respect their faith and shows love and kindness is always appreciated. Do you have a friend that seems to be down during the holiday season? The gift of being there for them and asking if they would like to talk shows that you have taken the time to see them in their time of need. Two, help a person in need. We all know someone who needs our help, whether they are family members, close friend, or even a homeless person on the street asking for spare change. Everyone has different needs, but we can help as much as we can. Buddhists often give money when asked by someone in need, such as a homeless person, or helping someone during a difficult time, if only being there to listen. You may find that buying a few grocery gift cards from the supermarket, and giving them to people in need will mean more than any electronic gadget ever will. Three, plant seeds of kindness. Buddhists plant seeds of kindness by doing the most basic things, such as holding the door open for a person with their hands full, paying for the coffee of the next five people in line behind you, or just giving a hug. There is no reciprocation needed or expected. Just the act of being kind will benefit you both in ways you cannot imagine. Four, help an animal. Often forgotten, animals also feel cold, pain, hunger, and fear like every living creature. You may also do what Americans are wonderful at, donating to charities, and there are many wonderful ones that support animals, such as the Humane Society, the ASPCA, your local shelter where you can volunteer, and etc. Oh, and a little toy to your own furry companion will make them happy. Yes, sometimes it is the little things. Catholics may know of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals, who preached sermon to animals during his lifetime. Five, practice loving kindness meditation. Sometimes the gift we should give to help others start with us. Loving kindness meditation allows you to create positive change within you of friendliness, metta, compassion, karuna, appreciative joy, mudita, and equanimity, or upekka. What a wonderful thing. This meditation focuses on sending loving thoughts to a respected person, such as a teacher. So many Buddhists include the Buddha, a loved one, such as a family member or close friend, a neutral person, perhaps a cashier you don't know, and a hostile person, someone you're having difficulty with. Sharing the practice of loving kindness with children helps them understand more about compassion and love for others, and not just about material things. But why do it only during the holiday season? Practice the above throughout the year. The Buddhist way of compassion and loving kindness is not seasonal. It is neither in the past nor in the future, but always in the present moment, the here and now. These, together with material things or gifts as well, are presents for all seasons, not just the holidays. The Bodhisattva practice is neither bound or limited by time, just like the Buddha's compassion that is always present in our lives. A happy holiday season to all of you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.